Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Happy Halloween. If you celebrate Halloween, if not, then happy Saturday or whenever it is you're watching this. I don't know. Maybe it's Christmas. I don't really know. But today we have a very special guest with us. Everybody, welcome Paul W.S. Anderson.
I'm not Paul W.S. Anderson.
Quiet Anderson. Anyways, Paul W.S. Anderson has graciously agreed to watch all 6 Resident Evil movies with us. All 6.
Please, everyone help. He's a madman.
You don't know madness yet. Let's get started, shall we? As soon as Resident Evil was a huge hit, a movie for the franchise was being talked about. And it made sense, considering the games were usually pretty short and inspired by the works of George A. Romero. In fact, they almost had Romero do the movie. He directed a couple of Japanese commercials for Resident Evil 2 and wrote up a treatment for a movie. Capcom turned him down. They turned down the father of the modern zombie for this guy.
Okay, even I think that's a stupid move.
Well, it went through a lot of scripts and a lot of rewrites. Its production history is pretty nuts. But the project eventually landed with one Paul W.S. Anderson, a director best known at the time for the movie adaptation of Mortal Kombat. Long story short, thanks to him, the world finally got the big screen debut of The movie, just called Resident Evil, was released theatrically in 2002. It was written, directed, and co-produced by Paul W.S. Anderson. It starred Mila Jovovich and Michelle Rodriguez, as well as a bunch of other people I can't remember.
Kind of suck at this.
Yeah, I definitely do. The movie isn't an adaptation of the first game, but instead its own original story, sort of set in a Resident Evil type universe. We start with a secret Umbrella lab where everyone is happily creating horrific viral agents, until one breaks loose, resulting in the computer, called the Red Queen, murdering everyone. We then see our main character, Alice, waking up absolutely naked.
Why?
Alice is also suffering from amnesia, so after getting dressed, she wanders around the mansion a bit until coming across another man with amnesia, as well as a group of soldiers Umbrella sent in to investigate what happened. So the group heads down to the secret facility under the mansion where, needless to say, the members of the team quickly start becoming zombie chow. As they try to escape, Alice and the other guy with amnesia slowly recover their memories. Turns out Alice was chief of security of the facility, called the Hive by the way, but was horrified by the horrors of Umbrella and was going full whistleblower. The Red Queen gassed her with amnesia gas because that was the dumbest thing she could have done. Oh, and the other guy was an Umbrella employee that was going to kill Alice or something like that. I don't know. But eventually, Alice escapes just to run into Umbrella's second wave of guards.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad.
Oh yeah, no, this movie's fine.
Then why am I handcuffed here?
We still got 5 movies to go. Look, the movie itself isn't great, but it isn't terrible. There's some pretty bad CG, but beside that, it's just a normal generic zombie movie with a splash of Resident Evil painted on it. We could have done a lot worse. And yeah, the movie was a financial success. None of the movies were critical darlings by any means, but I don't think they were trying to be. Point is, the movie made money, so they made more. And yeah, we got a sequel called Resident Evil Apocalypse came out in 2004, once again starring Mila Jovovich as Alice and branding co-produced by Paul W.S. Anderson. Directing this time was Alexander Witt.
Then why do you blame him for this movie being terrible?
Oh, this movie isn't terrible. In fact, it's probably my favorite.
You know, this might be a little overkill, the whole kidnapping thing.
Just shut up and listen to me. Apocalypse is basically an adaptation of Resident Evil 3, showing Jill and Carlos trying to escape Raccoon City. And every part that is about that is really cool. Jill is absolutely spot on, Carlos is good, Nemesis looks amazing, and seeing Raccoon City in live action is so cool. And then this guy happened. Here's the thing about Paul W.S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich. They met on set of the first movie, and they fell in love. Around the time of the second movie, they started publicly dating. They would then go on to get married and start a family, and I am really happy for them. Finding someone to love and spend the rest of your life with is something a lot of people hope for, and it's worth celebrating when that happens. The problem is that Anderson started writing Alice, played by the woman he loves, remember, differently after the first movie. Originally, Alice was just a normal person with some training. She was the main character and could be badass at times, sure, but she was still human. Starting in Apocalypse, however, he started writing Alice like she was a goddess. Little to no faults, able to do fantastic feats, and worst of all, the only one capable of doing things. Like here with Jill. Jill was going to do something badass, but Alice had to step in to steal the spotlight. Alice is too perfect of a character. If a character is too perfect and too OP, it gets harder for people to like them generally. And it doesn't help in this case when Alice is literally stealing the spotlight from game characters that fans actually care about.
So do you like this movie or not?
I like half of it. If you could cut out Alice from the plot, it would be a fun, though inaccurate, adaptation of Resident Evil 3. As it is, it's a frustrating movie that could have been better. Until someone jumped into Jill's story and hijacked it.
Oh, so what about the ending?
The ending doesn't matter. They made that clear when they crapped out. Resident Evil Extinction fouled up cinemas in 2007. This blight on humanity again starred Mila Jovovich and was written and co-produced by Paul W.S. Anderson. This ungodly scourge was directed by Russell Mulcahy.
We get it. You don't like the movie.
I'm sorry, but this movie used to be my least favorite of all time.
Used to be? What happened?
I watched the rest of the series! Yeah, I did not care for this movie. Not surprising, since it's from the director of Highlander 2.
And the first Highlander?
Shut your mouth! Anyways, Extinction starts post-apocalypse.
Obviously, that's after the last movie.
No, not post-apocalypse the movie, I mean post-apocalypse the end of the world.
They're skipping a story or two there.
I know! So, the T-Virus somehow turned the whole world into a giant desert? I think Anderson had just seen a Mad Max movie before writing this or something. So, Claire Redfield is a thing now, and she's roaming around the desert with Carlos and a whole band of survivors until they come across Alice. They hear there's some sort of safe haven in Alaska, of all places, and they come up with some way to head there while Alice stays behind and infiltrates Umbrella, now led by Albert Wesker, of all people. Alice teams up with Alice and fights Alice's killer before deciding that she and Alice will team up with Alice to rescue Alice in memory of Alice.
What?
Clones! We have clones to high heaven! The movie is ugly as dirt. Literally. The CG is still bad. Alice is now literally the Messiah, and the clone's plot twist is absolutely bonkers and ridiculous. The game characters are handled terribly and add nothing to the experience. And the movie screws up its own in-universe continuity to an absurd degree. I really, really hate this movie.
Please, tell us how you really feel.
Oh, you think that's funny? Well, guess what? We're still only halfway done.
Please give me the bat.
No, it's time to watch. Appearing seemingly out of nowhere in 2010, Resident Evil Afterlife again starred Mila Jovovich and had Paul W.S. Anderson handle directorial duties again, along with writing and co-producing. And this movie was released in 3D. Thanks again, Avatar.
Yeah, I like The Last Airbender.
I'm not talking about the cartoon.
That was a cartoon.
What?
I feel literally no mercy anymore.
End him.
Alice's Grand Clone Army of the Republic lead an attack on Wesker's new actor, and all die except for the real Alice. Convenient! Wesker jabs Alice with power bye-bye juice, making her mortal again. In theory. Then Alice somehow makes it to Alaska and finds an amnesiac Claire. Apparently the safe haven was a lie and everyone but her was gone missing. I don't know. So they set out to find them, and kind of fail miserably. Also, Chris Redfield shows up and plays Prison Break for a little bit to pad out the time.
I mean, he is played by Wentworth Miller.
That doesn't make it okay. Look, this movie is just forgettable. I swear, I forget about it every time. It butchers Chris like all the others, minus Jill, of course, and meanders. It treats its own continuity as disposable. It's a bad movie. But I'm not angry anymore. I'm just indifferent.
So, can I leave?
No, we still have 2 more movies to go. And first we have... Because this series just can't stop making money for some reason, Resident Evil Retribution apparently was released in 2012, starring Mila Jovovich and written, co-produced, and directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, like usual.
Apparently?
Yeah, I didn't even know this movie existed for a while. I never saw it advertised, never saw it at a theater. I just apparently came out one day and made a lot of money because the world hates me. Alice has been captured by the unfortunately blonde Jill Valentine, who was still the best actor in the movie, by the way. She deserved a better movie series to play Jill in. Alice tries to escape and runs into Ada Wong for some reason, and then the kooky clone caper begins. Yeah, I don't even know how to explain the plot to you. Barry does show up, though.
That's good.
But he dies.
That's bad.
Yeah, we get a decent-looking Barry, a vaguely Leon-looking person, and Michelle Rodriguez again because of clones. And then after teaming up with their clone's deaf daughter, Alice and company head to the White House, where Wesker is waiting to team up against an army of the undead. Oh, right, apparently their Red Queen is back and evil and controlling the zombies. Yeah, it makes literally no sense. Yeah, this movie is great.
You hypocrite!
Oh, it's an absolutely awful movie. Terrible. So bad. And that's what I love about it. It falls into the so bad it's good territory for me. It's something of a guilty pleasure, I suppose. Still no idea what happens in it, though.
So, was the last movie also so bad it's good?
We have that half right. Let's finish things with the appropriately titled... Forged in the fires of Mount Doom in 2017, Resident Evil The Final Chapter again stars Mila Jovovich and is written, co-produced, and directed once again by Paul W.S. Anderson. Big surprise, I'm sure. This movie actively works to get everything wrong and anger anyone that ever saw one of the previous movies. It's quite impressive, actually. It's also the highest rated of the movies.
How?
The movie ends after the promised huge fight. Everyone in her group is missing, except for Alice, and no one really mentions them. So it turns out Wesker lied the whole time, and the Red Queen isn't evil, despite the literal proof we saw last movie. And so Alice has to stop Wesker before time's up, or the human race dies. She ends up having to go to Raccoon City, which was clearly destroyed in Apocalypse, by the way, and finds Claire and some meat shields. They head down into the hive, which also was clearly destroyed, and we get more clone nonsense. Alice dies for our sins, but is resurrected as foretold in the prophecies, and all of like 5 humans remaining survive as Alice spreads the cure to all her true believers. This is easily the worst of the movies on pretty much every level. It's just bad. It takes everything that was wrong with the previous movies and dials it up to 11. It ends the movie franchise not with a roar, but with a whimper.
So what? Why do you care so much about a stupid video game movie?
Because I believe that every single property deserves respect, whether it's a video game movie or not. It's something I don't think Paul W.S. Anderson understands.
I'm not Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah, I think I see that now. You're not British, and you're significantly younger. Are we going to prison?
I'd like to see them try to take me.
Nah. I'd just rather just use this as blackmail.
Well, at least you're honest about it. The Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil movies aren't good. In fact, they're quite bad, both in the larger franchise and as movies by themselves. But not all is lost. Capcom has been making CG movies that take place in the game universe's canon, and while not perfect, they're usually decent to harmless. And recently, it's been announced that a live-action reboot was happening that appears to be trying to get closer to the game's story-wise, so that's good. In the end, these movies stand as an example of how not to do a video game movie. But I wish Anderson and Mila absolutely no ill will. I think they're both talented in their own way, and I hope whatever they make next is good. Or maybe the movie after. But I would like to thank not Paul W. Anderson here for watching this crap with me.
No problem. Call me Will.
Well, thanks, Will, and see you around sometime.
I want some churros.
And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Mila, it's me, Paul. Yeah, some bloody wanker kidnapped me again. Another Resident Evil fan. Yeah, no, they fell for it. The innocent American act. I used my second name for Pete's sake. Absolute idiots, the lot of them.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. This one was a bit of a pain to put together, honestly, but hopefully it came out okay. There's definitely some audio issues, but hopefully altogether it wasn't so bad and you guys had some enjoyment. It's snowing out, and it's Halloween. Well, day before Halloween, I don't know. But happy Halloween to you guys if you celebrate it. Otherwise, happy Sunday or whenever you're watching this. I already made this joke earlier, didn't I? Whatever. I don't know. I'm tired. Thank you so much if you watched through all of the Resident Evil videos this year. Hey Thomas. I honestly enjoyed putting them out. I'm glad I was able to, and I'm gonna try to keep putting these out relatively weekly if I can. Also, make sure if you want to see more zombie fun featuring me, I'm on my friend Reginald Conga's channel doing an Oregon Trail playthrough. I've actually did all the gameplay. We've been commenting on it. It's pretty funny, I think. Us and Dr. Milk, Reginald's friend there. Just keep in mind that it is very adult oriented. So we swear over on that one. We don't swear on this one, on this channel. But regardless, otherwise, I'll see you guys next time, I suppose, with whatever it is I'm going to be doing. I don't know. I'm going off the seat of my pants. But catch you guys next time. Remember, be excellent to each other.